What's going on? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone, and this is your weekly gear news update. We're doing it inside today because it's been raining for days again, somewhere in Indiana still this week. For those of you that are curious, let's get into the news. Fender has introduced their Redondo Mini series. It's basically like a shorter scale. They got two little short scale versions, spruce top or a mahogany top. Mahogany back and sides, 6-in-line peg head, but it's a little acoustic guitar, so like made for travel and kind of jamming on the living room couch, just the one you have laying around the living room. I think it's a great idea that everybody have a guitar like this around, so you can just kind of songwrite and plunk around on the thing. I think it's cool, and it's a reasonable price. You can check out a link to it in the description below. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Ferch Guitars, but they're from Eastern Europe. They have a really cool story, and they're like one of my favorite brands. I'd love to own one. They have a new model coming out that is called the 40, and basically it's a anniversary or a celebration of their 100,000th guitar that they've built. They haven't built that many guitars over the years. Go to their website and look at their history all the way back to Cold War era. Very cool story. This guitar is actually only going to be available to people that already own Ferch guitars, kind of like what Ferrari does sometimes. I think it's kind of a cool way to do it. So I won't be able to get one. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get one, but these are really cool guitars, and to me it's more about the story of this company. If you want to check it out, it'd be worth it. Diezel, not the fuel, the amp. Like the super gainy amp, 4 different gain stages of gain in the VH4 amp. Well, they made a mini version. I like this whole mini amp thing. People are coming out with these mini amps. It's easier to carry around. Well, this amp has gain stage 3, which is 3 out of 4, which is, I guess, the most popular legendary sound from the Diezel VH4. You can check it out. There's a link to it in the description below. If you're into this sort of thing, I don't play this kind of amp, but I know a lot of people that really like this. Definitely check it out, and it's not that expensive, and of course it's portable, but it still has an effects loop and all the normal features of a normal amp, just smaller. Pretty cool. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm a fan of Reverend Guitars, and they are reintroducing their Flatroc. The shape is basically the same, the overall look is basically the same, but they've got an interesting new mini humbucker. If you look at the picture, you might think it sort of looks like a Gretsch Filtertronic sort of thing, but it's actually a mini humbucker. It's supposed to have really nice mid-range and a super punchy sound. You see the knob up on the top, that's the normal bass contour thing that Reverends have. And then of course, I'm a Bigsby guy, so I'm kind of stoked that they come with a B50 on them. And this is a really cool guitar. Different sound, something a little different. You know Reverend, they're always trying to bend around the edges, and I really like this. I like this orange one. It seems like every week there is some sort of new modeling amp coming out, and they're getting more accessible, less expensive, and getting better all the time. Peavey Viper amp came out in 2008, and let's face it, early modeling amps weren't that good, but now they're very cool, and I really love the fact that they put their trans tube technology into this modeling amp. There's like 3 different models. There's a low wattage one, a high wattage one, and I think the one that I put a link to below is the 40 watt with the 112. I think that's the one I would get. What's really cool about this particular one, this series of amps, is that it can sense which guitar you're plugging into it. So acoustic guitar, electric guitar, or bass, the amp's always going to act a little different based on what you've done there, what guitar you're using. So if it knows that, it's going to be effective with all 3 types, acoustic, electric, and bass. You'll be able to use one amp for everything. Of course, it's got an app that you can plug in, it's got headphone jack, it's got Bluetooth stuff, it's got all the things that normal amps, these new modeling amps have, but that input thing is very cool. I think you should definitely check this out, and it's not expensive either, and it's going to have all of the main Peavey, cool Peavey sounds, 6505, all those sorts of things, and a pretty nice app to go with it. Peterson Tuners has just started shipping their, let's do that skin. I almost said stripping. Peterson Tuners has started shipping their Strobo Plus HDC. I am super stoked about this. I'm going to order one as soon as it is available because it's kind of more like a bench top, like a guitar tech kind of tuner. So it's not a pedal board tuner, it's not a clip-on tuner. It's going to sit on your desk more or less. It's going to be for those of us that do like a lot of setups. And I think it's cool. It's got a big display on there. I think that's what the HD of the HDC stands for, is, you know, big display. And color, I think color also is in there as well. It's got a metronome in it. It's got 200 presets, I think, for all Peterson's sweetened tunings. And it will also like order those presets as you use them to be, you know, like this is the most popular one, so it kind of pops it up to the top. I think it also has an app that you can plug in and you can adjust various tunings for whatever you want. And of course, 0.1 of a cent accuracy with Peterson's, you know, strobe wheel cool display thing. I really like this. I'll leave a link to it in the description. As soon as it comes out, I'm gonna order one because it's the basis for a lot of the stuff we do on this channel, is a really good tuner. So I'm really excited about this. As I mentioned a couple of times, there are now links to everything that we talked about today, and I'm going to start doing that. I don't know why I've never done it before, but they're down there. When you use those links, it helps out the channel just a little bit at no extra cost to you, so I do appreciate it when you use them. Make sure you check out our live video on Thursday, as well as our videos that come out on Monday and Tuesday and the other days of the week. Make sure you hit the subscribe and the like button, and let me know what you think of this stuff down below. This new modeling amp, this new Peavey modeling amp is very cool. And honestly, the little Fender Redondo mini guitar things are cool too. I think having a guitar laying around the house is really important. I've got one sitting right over there on the chair that you can just grab at any point. I think it's really good to keep us all playing all the time. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video.